Welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happer. I didn't even really wait there between those two, huh? Just ended it and then right back to it. What's up, dude?
We'll show the Patreons. We are batch recording, which is exciting. We have to thank our sponsors quick. Queen City Creative Works, married couple in Cheek to Vegas. They make branded merchandise. If you want to help support both businesses at once, between us and them, go to queencitycreativeworks.com, scroll down on their homepage, select Buffalo Happy Hour Shop Now tab, and then you will be able to shop. You can buy water bottles that are branded, bottle openers that are metal, wrapped in silicone. They are very nice. And then also Slate black branded coasters that are circular. They come in a 4-pack. They can ship right to you no matter where you are in the country. Addies, thank you so much for your logo.
Whoop, whoop.
For High Peaks Imagery, if you want to take your marketing to the next level, please reach out to highpeaksimagery.com. They can use first-person drones and capture your business to further enhance your marketing budget and ensuring that they are capturing things in a whole different way. So if you're interested in personalized marketing for your establishment/business, feel free to reach out to High Peaks and they can come with their equipment and fly their drone around and pick up some really cool aspects that you might not have seen before. Like, oh, hey, I might need a roof. So today's useless fact for our episode, it is now 7:30 in the morning, so we are doing good. I will send you this photo, and then maybe we can put it as B-roll footage.
Throw it in the Creative Cloud, bro.
Okay. Grover Krantz was an anthropologist who donated his body to the Smithsonian Museum to show how skeletons can be educational tools. His only condition was that he wanted his loving dog next to him even after death. The museum honored his request. So there's a photo of his dog getting up on its hind legs to hug him while Grover's standing, and they took the bones and assembled them to replicate the photo.
Jesus.
So I would love to do that. That would be amazing. Let me throw this in the cloud. And
I can't even think about dogs dying.
Nope.
I get way too sad.
Yep. Can't do it. There's a cloud. Had to find the cloud. Are you at a point where you're cleansing your phone of apps, or are you still adding apps?
Yeah, I'm cleansing. I don't like too many apps on my phone. I downloaded Solitaire last night just because I wanted something mindless to do while Gina was reading. I didn't feel like reading, and we didn't want the TV on, so I downloaded Solitaire. But other than that, I have the required apps on the phone, and I have some work apps like email and Teams and stuff like that. But outside of that, I mean, it's kind of just like necessity at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. When was the last time you played a mobile game? Like an actual mobile game, not Solitaire.
Oh, dude, forever.
Yeah.
Do you remember that website,
People still do that, though.
Free Games Online or whatever?
No.
There's
All
a
I remember
website of
was-
Free Games Online where you can play like Kitty Cannon.
No, never played that before.
You never played Kitty Cannon? Probably got outlawed by now, but it would put cats inside of a cannon, and you would press a button to launch them, and you would try to exceed, like you can change the angle of the cannon, and then you would just launch cats until they hit like a spike and got impaled and died. Or they would like bounce on a trampoline, and then it was a distance game. You were trying to see how far you can like keep this cat going off a single launch.
I've never played this before.
Oh yeah, Kitty Cannon. I mean, I wonder if you can still play it. I'm gonna look it up. Dude, there were some savage games in the early 2000s.
What do you think about video games? Like, are they...
They're movies now. They're not video games.
Oh, yeah.
They're movies.
100%. Every single game is like a novel.
Crazygames.com. You can, and Addicting Games. That's the website.
Addicting Games.
Addictinggames.com.
Yeah, okay, I know that one, yeah.
And Kitty Cannon is still on there. Goodness.
Do you think video games have, like, this is the age-long debate, is that we have violent kids because of video games. You don't think at all it has an impact?
No.
Really? I do.
Like a negative impact? No.
Yeah. Like,
an impact, yes.
Like it can make kids more impulsive and violent?
No, I don't agree with that.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever watched Cops with your parents?
No.
Growing up?
Yeah, kind of. Not often at all.
My parents use it as a teaching lesson, but I also grew up with a cop in the house. And the conversation was like, look at this idiot. And they would like demoralize the suspect of, you can't outrun a radio. The cops will always find you. They'll always win. don't do drugs. This is why. This is what it looks like. Like,
That's different, though.
and it was good parenting, in my opinion. Some
like-
people might just be like, "That's horrifying." Like, oh, well, I also grew up at 9 watching Platoon. Like, whatever.
But getting in an Intrepid, which is like the Grand Theft Auto version of a Lamborghini, and firing a machine gun outside of the window until you get 4 stars, and then just getting in a helicopter and going away and never being found, that's not really good.
Well, if you think you can do that in real life, then that's Darwinism, and I don't feel bad for you.
Well, sure, but it has to have some negative impact, right?
I think it comes down to parenting.
Oh, sure.
Of
Well,
like,
absolutely.
that's a game, it's not real life. Like, that's, and like, you shouldn't be playing this game until you reach that certain age where you kind of understand.
That doesn't happen. You know that. You know, have you played a mature game when you were not 17? I was playing Grand Theft Auto when I was like 13.
We turned out fine.
Yeah, right?
Fine.
Fine.
So-
Drinking whiskey at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's
We're
6:30.
fine.
Let's be real. I mean, it's, I don't know. We're hanging out with 12 trees and we're drinking at 6:20.
There you go.
It is what it is.
I still think that it does have somewhat of a negative impact.
Well,
Like, have you played Grand Theft Auto? You're not a big video game person in general, though.
not anymore. Not since college.
Have you played
All
Grand
through
Theft
high
Auto?
Well, yeah. I mean, the bear shit in the woods.
Didn't you go around and like shoot a stripper?
Yeah, and then I recollected my money after I got off. Yeah.
And you don't think that has a negative impact?
No, because I've never done that in real life.
Well, yeah, but if you don't have the parents that you did, maybe somebody else would be like, oh, I could just do that now? I'll pay a stripper, and then bam! There's shootings that happen all day in Buffalo. I'm sure one of them has got that idea from Grand Theft Auto. You had the dude driving around like 4 weeks ago with his gun shooting at cop cars. I'm sure he did that on Mafia 2.
Yeah, probably.
I think it does have a negative impact. It's not as much as people say because I'm not a killer, but it has to have some impact.
no killer.
Yeah, dog. But yeah, it has to have some impact.
Stay in school. I don't know. That's all I got to say. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't litter.
Why don't you play games now?
Time, dude.
You watch TV all the time.
Daily, but not for long periods of time.
You don't got to play games for long periods of time.
You do, though.
Not really.
It's a commitment. I have over 1 month's worth of game time on COD 4.
Is that a flex or what?
Think again. Like, I'm going to say that again to think about it. I have over 1 month's worth of time on one game. That's disgusting. I'm good.
Sure, but that's because you liked that game and you had time back then. You don't have to do that now.
Correct. But I
How many episodes of...
I own a house.
How many... Well, yeah, but how many episodes of Soprano are you in?
Well, we finished the show, but we'd only watch one a night.
So you can play an hour a game a night if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I choose not to do that because I don't do that. I just don't have an answer for you. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'll do is,
To me, it's like you're watching your favorite show, but you can control the characters. Like, that's sweet.
yeah, the only thing that I'll play are campaigns of new Call of Duties.
Yeah.
And specific Call of Duties. That's it. If it's an intriguing first-person war game and it's just a campaign, I don't play live anymore. I don't spend the money on live. I'm good. I'm not a gamer. Like, that's it. And if I turn my Xbox on right now, it would have to be on for 6 hours just for updates.
True.
So
There's a lot.
I haven't touched it in, months, dude. Months. I've cleaned it off, but I haven't turned it on in months. Because I bought it with the new Modern Warfare, beat it, and then that was it. I'm good.
That was some good coffee.
I know, dude. It's so nice recording at 6 a.m. before the traffic.
Right? We got to do this more often, man. Just bring the coffee in here and let's talk. Let's chat.
Yeah, let's do it. Change lives. So what is gas now?
$4.19, I think.
Why?
Because
Wasn't it like $3.50? $4?
$3.50? What are you talking about?
Yeah, wasn't it $3.50 a gallon?
When?
Like 2 weeks ago?
No. It was never. It wasn't in 3 since the whole Ukraine stuff happened. It was at $4.50 like 4 weeks ago. It's gone down because now we're allowed to frack a little bit.
So what is it at?
Last time I saw it was $4.19. I also saw some 421s, but 419 is what I've seen a lot.
I totally disconnected myself from gas since I got the company vehicle, and they because we have gas tanks at work, so I just use
That's
that.
cool. Maybe that's where you're seeing 350 because they probably get it, or they probably have.
There's no price on it.
Yeah.
You just type in your gas code and then pump and then drive away. So I don't know, but I have to fuel up after this for my personal car.
It's about 419.
I'm gonna throw up.
It was at the highest I saw was in Williamsville. Was like 459. It was ridiculous. It's like it's 459 in Williamsville, but in West Seneca it's 419.
They've made so much money, dude.
Yeah, I know.
So much money, and it's just from bad policies.
But if you're a gas station attendant, wouldn't you take advantage of it too? Like the demand and how prices all around were rising. Wouldn't you try to raise prices? Like people are saying a lot of it is capitalism is terrible because these companies are abusing a pandemic and war. They're using it all to make money. But I mean, isn't that the name of the game?
It is, but I mean,
they're not. It's not like they can't sell it for $2 and they're like, oh, $4.19 for sure. It's more like they can maybe get away with $3.89, but they're selling it for $4.29.
right?
Like that's not.
No, the markup isn't insane.
Yeah,
It's
people
not,
think it is, but it's
right,
not.
Right. Yeah, it's not that bad. The sales tax elimination for gas goes into effect when?
I think it already did.
Okay.
I don't like that. I try to do the little thing, but I don't like hearing both of you.
Yeah, no, it's too much. Just one.
Yeah. I think it already went into place, but Biden now said that we can start fracking or some sort of like we can open up the oil in America now.
Yeah, we can drill on federal lands,
Yeah.
which totally goes against his campaign promise. But what else is new?
Everything does.
Correct.
Did you see the video of the Easter Bunny directing Joe Biden on what to do?
Oh my God.
Dude, it was so funny. They brought an Easter Bunny, obviously, for Easter, and Joe had no idea where he was going. And the Easter Bunny was like, oh, you got to go this way, Mr. President.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Goodness gracious.
Oh, my God. That is so funny, dude. There's so many reports on saying how I just hope that they're correct, but the 2022 midterms are just going to be
Red.
dumpster fire for the Democrats.
How is it not going to be?
Yeah.
People are so fed up.
So the whole Disney thing.
Yeah, what's going on? What started this whole thing?
So top executives at Disney came out and said that they're going to start implementing some LGBTQIA plus policies into their movies.
Oh, okay, so the acronym grew again.
Yeah, it's plus now. Ben Shapiro goes plus, minus, divided sign, dollar sign, tilde. I don't think you're such a savage. But so top executives came out and said that they're going to start doing this. There's a rumor saying that the next Thor is coming out as gay. I don't have anything against it. Like, I don't have anything against this stuff, but why make it a policy? Who cares?
And
are you watching?
It's a demigod.
Are you
He's not
watching
gay.
Thor? Honestly, I'm 100% asking an honest question. If somebody has an answer to it, please leave it in the comments below. But if you're a gay male, are you watching Thor and saying, I wish he was gay? Do you even care at that point? Like, what are you watching movies for? If you're watching movies to relate to the main character, I don't relate to Thor and I'm a straight male. Like, what are you expecting to get from this? Representation in movies? Like, okay, but is there a need for there to be an overall policy to say everybody within the LGBTQIA plus community needs to be represented somehow, some way in a movie? Why? Does it really matter that much?
So I've never changed my stance since I was a kid. I literally don't care.
Correct. If it's not impacting me, I don't care. Like, why should I care? Why should I have a say in this? Or not say, but why should I care what you are if it's not impacting me? Do whatever you want.
Right.
I don't care.
Right. And I don't like anything being forced. That's like, period. I don't
Right.
like when big government forces things. I don't like when vegans force things. I don't like when CrossFitters force things. I don't like when gay people force things. Live your life, dude. Like,
And-
I don't, and I'm not saying, dude, don't
Yeah.
gaslight and virtue signal. Like, just, I don't care. Live your life. I'm going to live mine. Stick to your tribe and move on.
And honestly, I'm at the point too where I don't even care if companies do it, but they have to understand that there's ramifications for going any extreme route, whether
Correct.
they go left or right. So Disney can't be mad at Florida residents for not supporting Disney after they take a stance. Like, that's just the way the market works.
That's the way the world works.
Right. If you start going down one route and somebody else doesn't like it, they don't have to support you.
Correct.
So you can't get mad at people for not wanting to support Disney because now they're taking these insane ideologies and forcing it in movies. That doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So there's been a lot of fallout between Disney and
Florida.
Ron DeSantis, because DeSantis is like, I don't need you. Like, we can do fine without you. And Disney's like, no, you can't. And it's just this battle back and forth between them because DeSantis is obviously on the right. Disney is trying to become on the left, and it's just not working between the two. So Disney launched CNN Plus, failed terribly. They made zero numbers that they canceled it already. So it's not a thing anymore. And they're just going downhill because they take these extreme policies, and it's just, let's just take everything out of it. Like, just be an amusement park with terrible cartoons. That's all you need to do.
Oh, my God. I get it. You're a Nickelodeon fan.
You don't see Nickelodeon taking these stances.
I mean, dude.
Who owns Nickelodeon? Nickelodeon isn't the parent company, is it? Like, it's not like Nickelodeon is on Disney's level. They're different.
Yes.
But
Disney literally owns the world.
Right, yeah. I just don't know who owns Nickelodeon. Watch it be Disney.
Honestly, I
I'll
wouldn't be
start crying.
surprised.
Who owns Nickelodeon?
That's a good question. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand, like, what was wrong. I mean, clearly nothing was wrong, right? Like, in the early...
Paramount Global owns Nickelodeon.
Okay. Throughout the early 90s, Lion King came out, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, like, all of the classics, Hercules, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, etc. And it was always neutral. It was a story about a lion growing up, and he had, like, issues with his uncle. Okay, like, just keep it to that. Don't have like these super old comic features come out as one way or the like. Just stop. Just do your thing. Like, who cares? I don't know.
That gets into the whole thing. What started this is because DeSantis signed that law that said you can't teach kids about sex. That's what started all this.
At 5 years old?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that. When I was 5, I was learning what the colors wheel was.
Right.
Like, I didn't need to know about sexuality at 5 years old. I didn't. So, I don't know.
It's crazy.
Maybe
but yeah,
that's wrong. Like, I don't know. It probably is going to get to a point where nobody's in public schools and everybody's in, like, a Catholic school or a private school. Because it's just not...
Probably.
It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And there's no funding. Specifically in our state, there's zero funding for public schools. Until semi-recently... I was surprised. I will be the first to say I was generally surprised and skeptical because it sounded too good to be true with what Hochul wanted to do with the state budget. Funds were being allocated in certain ways that made sense for everybody. And it was like... It was a breath of fresh air. It was a first. And then a terrible Cuomo policy that... every conservative and Republican knew about with the misuse of funds from Medicare, which was bankrupting the state. But all these liberals and Cuomo lovers were like, he's the greatest. I still support him. All those people were just lying.
Daddy Cuomo.
And now they found out that the state's $1 billion behind because of his, again, horrendous policies with healthcare. Like,
what was Hochul doing?
what
I
more?
wasn't aware
What more
of it.
proof? What more proof do you need that Cuomo's literally one of the worst leaders to ever exist? Hochul wants to put funding in these areas, and I'll pull up the photos from the briefing because I sent them to Colleen, and I was like, I'm kind of at a loss for words because I did not anticipate this to be discussed at all. She wants... here's a budget breakdown for a few things. She's giving $2 billion for tenants and landlords. The thing that I liked is that money's going to landlords because you couldn't evict squatters during COVID, which was a horrendous idea. And I get it. People need homes. Okay, you still need to pay your bills because forcing the landlord to not accept any income, but then still have to pay the mortgage because they own it is terrible. It's equally as bad. So, you need some assistance. $7 billion over 4 years for childcare. That's a good move because right now daycare for a kid is disgusting, and it's forcing people to literally just have the wife not work at all.
Right.
The husband works, and then you lose a half of your income, and it's basically helped destroy the middle class. $1.2 billion for frontline healthcare workers, which, okay, but stop calling them zeros when you were just calling them heroes. I don't know. And I have family in healthcare, so that whole thing is, she created her own issues, meaning Hochul. $4.2 billion for Environmental Bond Act. So $4 billion is going into the environment. I'm okay with that because I'm fairly progressive when it comes to a multitude of things, which is surprising for a lot, I know. So it's $220 billion proposed. Now it's probably $218 because we got to un-F Cuomo's Medicare issue. 15% is going into the reserves. So 15% of $220 billion is going into the New York State savings account, basically, is like a future bailout. Good move. Let's be fiscally responsible. $2.2 billion is going into homeowner tax relief. Thank God.
Yeah.
We need help because these property taxes and school taxes are insane, and it's destroying the middle class. They're suspending the gas tax from June. So it goes into effect in June to the end of the year. And then they're legalizing alcohol to go, which is a good move. That's probably the best thing to ever come out of COVID. So in that, I was surprised and happy that was what she wanted to do. And then, of course, the bill stayed here, and that's a whole nother can of worms and situation. And there's salty Bills fans and Bills fans haters and Bills organization haters, then move. If New York sucks that bad, then leave. I don't know.
I can guarantee you the Bills are a lot of people's reasons why they're staying in New York State right now. The Buffalo community and the Bills is the reason why a lot of people in Buffalo are staying here.
Yeah. I don't think Hochul's going to last.
I don't think so either. When is the gubernatorial
And her lieutenant
election?
governor just got arrested.
Yeah. Is it this year?
Huh?
The
2022
gubernatorial election. Yeah. That'll be interesting to see the outcome of that.
I mean, she's got a huge war chest, but she's already got hit with 2 scandals. So we'll see. I don't know. I think a lot of people are getting fed up with the whole go woke, go broke, and on one side, and then the other side is let's go woke and really start changing narratives. I think it's a property line fight, and everyone's trying to dictate where the fence goes.
Yeah, let's just take government out of it.
I would love that. Government needs to go away. That's really why I would love to go to Montana, but it's fine. Just give me 30 acres. So we were watching on YouTube. There's a channel. What do you drink, dude?
I'm out.
Architectural Digest has a new twist on MTV Cribs with celebs.
Oh, okay.
And really well done. Dwight's on it. You can see his house. He's got a few things from the set of The Office still in his house, which is really fun. But we'll watch those from time to time. Again, mindless TV. So each one is 15, 20 minutes. Nothing crazy.
Where is it? Netflix?
YouTube.
Okay.
And it's Open Door with AD. That's what you have to search. Open Door with AD. And then you can just basically do MTV Crib tours with different celebs.
That's sweet.
So she goes, I want to watch homes because we're in the process of obviously doing home renovation projects and things over time, right? And it helps us with inspo. So does traveling. So we were sitting there and it was too late for Outlander, like we said in part 1 of this episode. And she goes, I want to watch homes. And I was like, okay. So I just searched home on acreage, and this house in Alabama comes on, and it had a basement down in Alabama, which is unheard of. And the guy goes, the construction on this home, obviously it was this Alabama twang, but he goes, the construction on this home is incredible. Poured concrete foundation. I'm okay. I was woo. So he does this whole tour, and then he goes, it's sitting on 35, 36 acres, and there's this huge pond it's full of fish. There's a horse and a horse stable, little barn building, real small, nothing crazy. And then it's an open floor plan with this massive like back deck pad thing that you can park like an RV on. But it's a gate at the front of the driveway at the road, and then you drive for like a half mile, paved driveway, all through like the hill, and then it just opens. And then the house is on top of the hill, and then it's just like this sprawling field with hills in the back, and not mountains, but like hills. And then the lake is on the bottom, like the pond. And it's all cut out. And then he had like drone footage to show you, because he was a realtor selling the house. And then he did like a full house tour. And it's just a voiceover video of him walking through the house first person with a camera. And I was like, I'm so excited to start looking at houses.
Good luck finding that, though.
Oh, it's not going to happen. It's unless our budget's like 2.5 and I start sharpening like colored Crayola crayons or whatever, like what everybody does on House Hunters. But I'm just excited to start looking and walking into houses and be like, we could potentially live here. Like that part's exciting.
Are you going to, when you buy your next house, are you looking for something to renovate, or are you looking for something to move in?
What's going to be tough is finances, because the market's insane.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, here's our plan. I'll just outline it. I have a VA home loan that I've yet to use. So the VA home loan is going to be
Thank you for
great.
your service, by the way.
Say it louder, Derek. Say it louder. Also, this shirt was a gift. I did not go on Grunt Style's website and buy a Grunt Style T-shirt. It was a gift from a buddy of mine who's a trooper up in the Adirondacks, and it says whiskey helps. So chill. Anyways, bunch of YouTube trolls. Kidding. We only get like one bot and then no comments on every video, Correct. So it's fine. So the VA home loan, you're welcome, will be used because it allows us to not put any money down. It eliminates PMI, and it allows us to get into a house without being a contingent offer. Then we can get a house that, if it is a fixer-upper, that's fine, like certain things, like renovating bathroom or a kitchen or whatever. What we can do is slowly move in, and then once we're in the house, it's livable, right? We sell our house, and the profit from that goes into the next house with the renovations, so a professional can just do the work.
Right.
And that way it's not this huge ordeal of trying to figure out how we do this.
That's why I'm interested you haven't bought already. Because even though the prices are high, with that VA home loan, it doesn't really matter too much to you.
Yeah, well, a lot of it was contingent on what work looked like, first of all. And then now I have to, because I just changed jobs, I have to wait because of underwriting. Which isn't a bad thing, because it allows me to do the things at my house that I need to do to really, invest properly with this house and then make the best bang for my buck. We were walking the dog last night and not watching TV. And she goes, we should really set a goal of a no later than date for the bathroom. And I was like, okay, we're going to Maine in August. We have one bathroom in the house. So if we do that, we're basically displaced. Mm-hmm. So the plan was to have my buddy who does this professionally, like, hey, we're out of town. Here's the keys. Like, do it. When we come back from vacation, the bathroom's done. So we're not,
there you go.
We have to stay at a hotel, or like, hey, can I come shower? So the issue is he's booked into December.
Gotcha.
So that's not happening. So, which is fine, because then we can basically configure finances, like keep saving more, because now materials are still just as high. So whatever. But we're trying to make it work. But that's the next big project, and I'm stoked for that, because then the house, now that the exterior drainage with the bubbler is done, the sump pump got updated, the basement's bone dry and finished, and then once the bathroom's done, the only thing I really have to do is just finish the trim and replace one carpet, and we're done. So
would you ever buy like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath ranch on 5 acres in the place that you want, with the thoughts of building
additions
on top
and things?
Of it?
Yeah. That was discussed. I keep telling Colleen the lot is what matters, not the house. Mm-hmm. The lot is what matters, not the house, and it takes a long time. Because any good idea you gotta get approval for with someone else. So she didn't want land when we first started dating. Now she does want land, so that's nice. Now that I have a legitimate position that's Monday through Friday, normal hours, I'm not driving over God's green earth.
You have a set pay for the most part.
Yeah, and I'm salary.
Yeah.
So it helps the underwriting. So there's that. I'm able to now start really diving into, okay, in what, less than 3 years, we can really start making moves. The only hindrance is the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. And then just stacking a little bit of cash just in case there's any like underwriting fees or home inspections or,
There will be.
But yeah, dude, I was investigating using my VA home loan to get this current house that we're in, our first
Happy
house.
you didn't, right?
Yeah, but even still, I could, like, the VA I can use again. It just, they go, okay, this is the house you're looking for in Cheektowaga. It would cost you $46 to buy the house today if you use the VA home loan. I'm like, we can do that. And they're like, no PMI, no down payment. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, but if you go conventional, you're a more competitive offer. You can get in faster, and this is 2017.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay. And now it's gonna be a bear.
It would be tough to compete with some
Yeah.
of the offers because when I sold my duplex, I had like 3 cash offers.
Correct.
So cash will always be superior.
Sight unseen. Like we're gonna go old school about it. Like I want to see this house. I want to investigate because we're gonna be there for
100%. Yeah,
years.
That's what we were driving through Hamburg last night. We went to Hake's Cakes. What's up, Stephanie? To plan our wedding cake.
Yeah.
And we were driving through the village, and there was 3 homes on the main stretch in Hamburg that just sold. One of them I know sold for $600.
In what? In Buffalo?
No, in Hamburg.
No. On Buffalo Street
Oh,
or Main Street?
Buffalo, I think.
Okay. Right where she is, right?
Yeah, on her street, but like across the intersection, going
Gotcha.
towards.
Yeah. So it's not Buffalo, but it's a street perpendicular to Buffalo.
yeah.
Got it.
Stunning houses. I know one of them went for like 500 or 600, and it's just wild how expensive everything is right now. But we're looking through these, and I'm like, see, this is a house that we need to look at because it's not the $600,000 one, not that rich, but this is the house that we need to look at because it might not look big on the outside, but look at this land. And if we're going to live in a village or close to a village, we need land. I don't like people that much to live right on top of each other. I did that for too long. We're not doing that again. So we're going to find a spot that has land, even if it's a smaller house, with the thought of building. Even the house that I have right now, is super small, but if I can find a third or a half acre lot in the middle of Hamburg, I'm fine with that because I would even build on this one if we were staying here, but there's too much around here that I don't like. There's no sidewalks. We're not close to a village. If you go to Union and you cross the road, you're basically injecting heroin, but I don't like this area right now, so I wouldn't build on this, but I'm fine with getting like a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house and building an addition if you can find it for the right price.
Yeah, it's just mad money now.
Yeah.
Additions are insane. I don't know. We're ready. We're definitely ready. It's just,
So you're thinking 3 years?
yeah,
Yeah.
3 years or less. But we'll see. But now it's like, okay, if I have to go to Tonawanda every single day, then in winter, how's that going to look? So we're thinking like our southern limit's going to be Elma. Realistically, it's like Elma, Lancaster area is where we're going to end up.
Well, they're trying to put in a throughway in Lancaster now.
The exit? Yeah.
It's still going to be on the 90. You're still going to have to pay a toll, but at least there'll be a throughway entrance there finally.
Yeah, right. Because then you can just go 90 to 90. We'll see if they do it. That's a huge endeavor. But
They're doing the environmental impact study now, I think. Or they've done one in the past, and now they're just resubmitting it. But, I mean, it makes sense. If you're in Lancaster, dude, you're not getting anywhere quick.
no.
Whenever I would stay at my dad's house to watch my dad's dog, it's 15 minutes just to get to the throughway.
Right.
And then once you're on the throughway, 20 minutes to get anywhere in Buffalo. Like, that's not... Lancaster and Clarence are not sustainable at all. I hate those towns.
Yeah. In regards to commute.
Yeah.
There's, dude, like 2-rod, 3-rod, 4-rod. I love those roads.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever for sale on them, but
Right.
it's amazing. We'll see. I don't know. Well, what I like is the wake-up call when you go to the bank and you're like, I want to buy a house. And they're just like, funny. And you're like, you're right, I'm garbage.
Well, to me, what's funny is that they pre-approve you for something extraordinary.
Correct.
Like, you go there and you're like, I want to get pre-approved. They're like, you can afford a $600,000 house. I'm like, no, I can't. Don't tell me that. Sure, based off my salary, maybe, but you can't just do that. I'm surprised that they don't take more into consideration because that's a big deal.
And people are too dumb to say,
Right.
I don't need all that.
Right.
I'll just take it. Insane. We'll see. But they're changing the interest rates, so it's helping the
they're
market
going up.
balance.
We'll see. See how long it takes to actually balance out.
So what?
Too early, bro.
Yeah, I know it's 5:45. So what's the thought that the market's going to level out? It's not going to keep rising.
I mean, it still might rise, but it's going to rise at a lesser rate. Right now, we're like an exponential rise. Hopefully, it's kind of like levels out a little bit, and it's still going to rise. I mean, if you buy a house now, you're not going to lose out in 5 years on that house. It's not where the market is right now. It's going over asking, but there's a lot of houses, in my opinion, I'm not a realtor. No idea what I'm talking about. If you take this podcast as serious information, I feel bad for you. But in my opinion, if you buy a house right now, unless you overpay by hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I don't know if you really could because the bank still has to appraise it. That's what people aren't understanding either. Like if you bid $100,000 over asking, if the bank doesn't appraise it at that level, you're not getting that loan. So as long as the bank appraises it, you're not going to be out and under this house in 5 years. So in my opinion, that means that the market is still going to rise, but at a slower rate. It's not going to crash down where now your $400,000 house that you bought is only worth $200,000. That's not happening. Not in this market. So it's going to keep rising, but at a slower rate, which I think that's what they're planning on doing with the interest. The interest they're thinking is going to dissuade a lot of buyers into buying right now because the interest rate is high, which in reality, the interest that you're paying on that house over 30 years is a lot, but month to month, it's not a lot. You're talking
No,
like
and you can always
5,
refi.
10, 30. Yeah, it's not a lot of money if you're doing an interest right now. And that's what also other people don't realize is that your $300,000 versus $350,000 house is like $15 extra a month.
Right.
Does it really matter? But people don't understand that they get turned off by housing prices. They get turned off by interest rates. So there's going to be less competition, which means less demand means more supply, which means you're not going to have so much competition when you go to buy a house, which is inherently going to make that $80,000 over asking price basically standard that it is right now down to like $30,000 over asking, which is probably, I mean, what would you consider normal? Like $5,000-$10,000 over asking?
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously all depends on what the homeowner lists their house at, but normal, I feel like, should be a little higher.
Yeah, we were. I think we were 9,
Yeah.
7 or 9,000 over ask to get the house, but we still got it for 132.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that now. My house now is like 190, 200.
Isn't it? Do you get those reports? That's
Yeah.
like, this is what your house is worth.
I
I'm
laugh
like,
at it.
Yeah, it's not.
No. Well, I don't
mean,
know. It might be.
It
yeah,
probably is, but you got to pay that much more for another house anyway.
Correct. Which is why I'm really excited for that VA home loan.
Yeah.
Because it'll help.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I'm shocked that you haven't, because you can make bank on your house right now.
The other thing is Colleen and I are both on the same page now of just like what makes sense? What do we need? As I biden through that sentence, the small house, small bills for everything, heating, cooling, maintenance. If we wanted to renovate anything, like it makes sense. We don't need a big house. We want room within the house, so we're not like on top of each other, especially if we have 2 kids, but we don't need this like extravagant thing of like 6,000 square feet. I want that outside.
Yeah.
I don't want a big house in a small lot. I want the opposite. So, and she like gets that, and she wants that same thing. I go, babe, if we have enough room where we can do a pole barn and stack it with weights, if the price for weights ever go down, I'm happier than a pig in shit.
Yeah.
I'll wake up, I'll walk across the driveway, lift, go inside, shower. Like that's my dream. Like that's all I want to do. And then we can not go to the gym. We built one and then save money there. That's $120 in savings a year. And then we're mint. I mean, just cut the grass, decompress, let the dogs run free. You know, I mean, that's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want. So she's on board. What helped is she saw a friend of mine's property who he's about to retire and go down to Tennessee. And
cool.
He's owned his house since he was 18. He built his house when he was 20. and he's been there ever since. And he's out in Holland. He's got 8 acres. He's got a pond, pole barn, house, and room. And she's like, this is really nice. And I was like, no shit. Like, it's all you would want. And she goes, yeah, it is. And I said, and we're, 6 minutes from the Village of East Aurora. Like, okay, he's right off of center. Like, it's amazing. It's an amazing spot. Yeah. He's going to sell his house for like $540,000.
Damn.
Yeah. But, and he GC'd the whole project. He was in trades his whole life. His house is unbelievable. His foundation wall in his basement is an additional 2 inches thick compared to standard. Wired everything correctly. He's got backup generators. Everything is seamless. Brand new trim. Like, it's really well made. So, yeah, and it's a perfect lot. No issues. Mm-hmm. He's going to make so much money. But he's been there for, 30, 40 years. That's his nest egg. It's his baby, So when he sells it, he's going to be crushed. But, what are you going to do? We'll see.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. We're kind of at that age now, you and I, where we're getting away from our first home and looking at the future.
Yep.
And that's a very exciting thing to look towards, because 5 years, 10 years is going to be extremely different than what it is now for both of us.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's kind of like the last time that there was this monumental change in our life was graduating college.
Oh, I was going to say when we first met.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good point. But after that, it was graduating college. So this is the next big thing.
Yeah.
Is getting out of your first home and getting into your forever home. Stressful but fun.
I'm juiced.
Yeah.
It's going to be a miserable experience because New York State makes it terrible with all their back-end legal nonsense and paperwork and whatever, but...
Well, it's crazy how quickly things go in Florida. Like, dude, you can buy a house and move in like 3 weeks.
Correct.
At maximum.
Correct.
And here it takes like 90 days.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
Just want to get in there.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Oh, God. Dude,
how do you feel?
I'm so sore. So after not going to the gym for that week when I was in Charleston, the first day that I went back, I did legs. And then that day, they're like, we have a fire drill. And I had to walk down 19 floors of stairs after leg day after a week off. It was not fun. The woman in front of me, she was an elderly woman with clearly some issues with her joints. And she had to walk down 19 flights of stairs. And I'm like, lady, if this is a fire, we're dead. Like, you got to hurry. Knees to chest, lady. Let's go. Get down these stairs.
Yeah, I would just either like give her a little knee in the back and then just let her fall.
She was sweet because she would walk down like 3 flights, then she would step aside and let like a bunch of people go. She's like a semi, not fat joke, but semi, like, you know your place. You're going slower than everybody. Get in the left lane, let people, or the right lane, let people go left and pass you. Get back over those so if the faster people can pass you too.
Correct.
But 19 floors is a lot of floors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit more than 18, less than 20, but it's a lot of floors.
Going down's way easier than up, though.
100%. That's why I'm happy those elevators work to get me back up there.
No doubt.
I've always, my previous building, it was only 3 flights of stairs, and I would always take the stairs every morning. But this one, I can't do 19 floors. I technically could.
You should do it once a week.
I don't know about that.
You should do it once a week.
I don't know about that. I do legs once a week because I can't. I'll collapse. Can't do it.
Once a month?
Maybe once a month. It's a lot of stairs, dude.
You should do it once a month.
It's a lot of stairs.
It's 19 floors.
Yeah, that's a lot of stairs.
Think of 9/11. You'll be motivated.
This building ain't coming down. I'm not going. I'm not taking.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. It's actually, I lied. I'm in the conference room and I hear it's just super windy. Architecture makes me nervous. Have you ever driven over a bridge and then you just feel like it going like this?
Oh yeah, Union all the time.
Yeah,
Clinton and Union. That happens every day.
It's supposed to happen.
Correct.
But it still makes you nervous. Same with if you're in a high-rise building and it starts going. Like, it's supposed to have that malleability or else it'll crash.
Yeah.
But man, it's kind of like, ooh, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I can't do 19 floors up. I'll do 19 floors now, but not up. It's tough. All right, let's wrap it up. It's about an hour and a half, and I got a tea time to get to.
Goodness gracious! All right, everybody, thank you for enjoying this conversation. If you want more, subscribe, drop a like, and follow us on our journey to 1,000 subs, as well as in general. So we got some things in the works. We're excited. And we will see you next week for another fun-filled episode.
Be a part of our Patreon. www.patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. They are in the know of some cool things that we have coming up that you guys aren't, because we're keeping a secret from you.
Correct.
In about a couple months, I'm not going to give an exact time frame, but we got some big things in the works.
OPSEC.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you, but it's kind of fun. So let us know what you would like to see from us in future episodes, and hopefully you're having a fun time while being around for the ride. So thank you very much. If you are going to drink anything during these episodes, we don't recommend as early as we are right now, but if you are going to, please remember to always drink responsibly. Be a good person. And Michael,
Do not litter.
we're out.
We'll be right back.